The Toronto Raptors have the 13th overall pick at a time where they may be looking to move, break up some things going on with that roster. Also, with Fred VanVleet opting out, do they look to maybe get their point guard of the future? We're going to talk about it all, break it all down right after this.
Welcome to the number one place for your daily basketball news and analysis, NBA Central.
What's going on, basketball fans? Welcome to another episode of NBA Central. I'm Haize, holding it down for the squad today. But let's get into it, right? The Toronto Raptors have the 13th overall pick in this draft, and they sit in a unique position where they have some talent on their roster. They have a lot of kind of similar players, which they may be looking to move on from one or a couple of those to kind of bring in a new flavor. And with Fred VanVleet opting out as well, they could be looking for their point guard of the future in the draft. Now, there's not anything guaranteed to say that, but at number 13, there are a number of interesting guard prospects there for the Toronto Raptors, one which may be a bit of a reach and isn't a straight point guard, but one that I do think could bode well for this team. We're going to get into that one last, but we're going to start off today's analysis with Cason Wallace, a 6'4", 195 point guard out of Kentucky. This guy is damn right probably the most physical player that you'll find at the guard position in this draft. And yes, by that I mean even more physical than Scoot Henderson. Does not mean he's better by any stretch. That's not what I'm saying. But when you look at his compact frame, when you look at the fact he's 95 pounds, when you look at what the muscle and mass he may be able to put on as well, already playing a hard-nosed style of basketball, he does not back down on the defensive side of the ball. He gets in the passing lanes extremely well. He averages nearly 2 steals per game in college. He has that type of change the pace, push the transition, get out on break game that is perfect. He stays out of foul trouble as well. And generally, he is guarding the best guard on the opposing team, right? And so that's something that you want to look at, right? He's a capable rebounder on top of that, just by with the aggression that he plays with. He shot 34.6% on threes in college, but shot an even higher percentage off catch and shoot opportunities. He's a good to great outside shooter. He developed that reputation in high school. He has a nice floater game or runner, whatever you want to look at it as. And he can score without needing to get to the rim, even though he can get to the rim a little bit, and he elevates nicely on dunks. I like Cason Wallace here a lot for the Toronto Raptors. I do think that it may not be as natural of a fit, right? And you may have to look to change some other things. But if they're looking to replace Fred VanVleet and they're looking to get a guard that's younger, that of course isn't going to be as good right away. Would never say that. He's going to be a rookie, still an extremely young player. But I like the skill set of Cason Wallace a lot. Now, some of his weaknesses, right? He's not always the most efficient player. 34.6 three-point percentage, again, not great, but you can see that him working on that as well. Not the jump out the gym athleticism, but he has enough that he's gonna finish on people. He's not a high volume scorer by any stretch of the imagination either, which may bode well depending on how the Raptors may look to build out their team. Doesn't get to the free throw line. That's why he has that nice runner and floater game. He doesn't really get to contact a lot or finish through contact. That may be something you want to try to coach him up to do. And while he is more than willing to move the ball, he's not an amazing passer by any stretch of the imagination. But right now he's shaped up to be a combo guard, but he is a guard that's probably going to play both positions, and his long-term position could be point guard depending on the makeup of the roster. I like Cason Wallace a lot. You guys can let me know what you think on him down below, especially Raptors fans, because I already know you guys are very vocal. All right, next up is not a guard, but Bilal Coulibaly. I love this guy. I've talked about him a couple of times on the show already for various teams. 6'7", 200 pounds. He's from France. Extremely athleticism out the gym. The one thing that I worry about, he does have that excellent length, a 7'3" wingspan on a 6'7" frame. But with that said, right, and his greater leaping ability, does he not already bring what a lot of these other players on this roster that the Toronto Raptors may be trying to, break up some of that monotony there? So, but overall talent level, that's why he's on this list. He's definitely has the talent to be selected here at number 13, and I think he has tremendous upside as well. He's raw for sure. He's going to need to bulk up, especially to play at the next level. He's going to be bullied by the bigger, stronger wings, more athletic wings in the NBA to start off with. But again, like him out in transition, he has so much pure raw talent there that, I like him. Doesn't handle the ball too well in traffic. Again, could be some of the, so it's repeating some of the things that the Toronto Raptors may be looking to get out of. has a weird shot release that's going to definitely need to be worked on as well there. And so that's why the Toronto Raptors may pass on him, but I overall like his talent there. Next up, another guard. This is Jordan Hawkins, 6'5", 195-pound shooting guard specifically. But again, could he use some combo? He could be. I think maybe his thing may be more out on the wing. Slender frame, it has great athleticism out the gym, has a good jump shot, a beautiful jump shot. Let me be clear. Beautiful jump shot, nearly 38% on three-pointers in the collegiate year. Great consistent shooting mechanics. He's going to be consistent. He gets to the free throw line decently enough. He's definitely a threat in transition hugely. And while he's not a facilitator, only 1.3 assists per game, he knows how to move the ball correctly. He has a high basketball IQ, and that's some of the things that you look at for him, in my opinion. And not a hugely efficient player right now. That is something that's going to hurt him at the next level. Doesn't get to the rim nearly as much as some other guards in this draft. And his ball handling is extremely, extremely mid. Like, extremely mid. Right-hand dependent, can't go left. So those are some things you may want to look at. Again, you may look at him and say he's too much similar to some of the skill set that we have already on the team, which, to be fair, but again, if you're looking at some of the best available, he definitely has a tremendous amount of talent. Next one up, and the last one that I'm going to bring up for the Toronto Raptors here, that is Nick Smith, 6'5", 185-pound, out of Arkansas. He was a freshman. He's drawn comps to players like Jamal Crawford, which I kind of see. Like I already said, the height. Quick, speedy, gets out in transition, has a small frame right now, but he's going to add that typical 8 to 10 pound NBA muscle over his first couple of seasons. Can put up shots like none other. 5 20-point games in 17 games played. A microwave scoring threat. He can be your bench scorer right away. Not a threat to I don't think to replace Fred VanVleet or anything like that. But if you're looking for a microwave off your bench, it may be a little bit of a reach for him at 13. Some mocks have him going right outside the lottery. But again, three-point shooting, you need that. You need somebody to stretch the floor. If you need somebody who can just damn right score the basketball, I like him. He can play on or off the ball, which is a tremendous skill set to have at being as young as he is, right? 19 years old. He just turned 19 in April, so he's going to be 19 for the most part of his first NBA season. The upside is all there. It's there. Now, on some of the downsides with him, not overly physical, right? Is not the best defensively. Gets backed down a lot by opposing guards, especially more bigger guards and body guards. With that said, 39% inside the free throw inside the three-point arc, which may be a little bit concerning there. You want that beat more towards 42, 43%. And isn't a playmaker at all, right? 1.7 assists per game. The assist to turnover ratio is really good there, so he's not going to turn the ball over a lot. But again, he's never really gained muscle. He hasn't really stepped up in some of the other clutch time things as well. And he was dealing for a knee injury for a nice chunk of the season as well. So that may be some things. He lost some of his rhythm there, never quite regained it after that. And that may be why he falls. But I think this guy has a tremendous amount of talent. And here at 13 for the Toronto Raptors, I wouldn't hate it if they drafted him. You guys can let me know what you guys think on these prospects down below. Make sure you're following the show at NBA Central Pod on every social media platform. You can send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns, NBA Central Show at gmail.com. And then lastly, if you want to leave a text message and our voicemail, the number to do so, 773-270-2799. We are the number one spot for everything NBA and basketball related. And we'll see you guys the next time I feel like making a video. Probably tomorrow. Peace, y'all.
This has been a presentation of the Breaks Media.